Alright, so how many of us have had a terrible job, but we're getting paid for it, or we don't want to do something, and we're getting paid for it, so we do it anyway? That's what my quote's about today. My quote is from Han Solo, and it says, "I'm only in it for the money." Now, I agree with this, and I disagree with this, and one of the ways I agree with it is in the fact that we're all here in school, and we all want to get paid more, right? And so we want to get a good education in order to get that money, that job that we all want, and hopefully it'll pay well. Now, some ways I disagree with it in my own job is that I don't get paid the best. I do get paid, thankfully. I don't get paid the best, so it is a paycheck, but it's the people I work with every day that make it so that I want to go back to work, and I actually enjoy working there. And it's not just, oh, I had a bad customer and I don't ever want to work there again. It's my buddy that closes with me in the grocery store that always jokes around with me, and we have a good time at work even though we're working. Another way that I disagree with this quote is that my dad's job, he's a hairstylist. He switched from being first an electrician, then he was in concrete pouring, and now he's a hairstylist. And he doesn't do it because it pays well. He does it because of the people that he works with, the customers that he has, and he gets to go into work every day and actually enjoy what he's doing. So even though the quote says, "I'm only in it for the money," not all of us are actually just in it for the money. Thank you.
Right, we get another one of those opening questions. It sounds like a survey. It really isn't, and so it ends up being more awkward than it ought to be. You did, however, go to the quote pretty effectively and get a good response, and I like that idea. That worked well for you. I did think it was a little bit strange, though, that your thesis is, well, sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not, but you don't really, seem to commit. I think it would be a little bit stronger if you could take one point of view and say, look, I know there are plenty of times when that's not the case, but I want to talk about the times when it really is this other way. And that's mostly what you do anyway. So in the long run, it probably would be better if you just went that direction. I thought you had a couple of good examples. I like the detail that you had on your first example, talking about working with your friend at the store. I think you could probably give it talk about a particular incident or event or a feeling that you had that would make it a little bit more meaningful. I think the example with your father is another good illustration there. And again, so, if there was a particular customer or if there's a satisfactory experience that he has doing the job that he's doing right now, and it makes it so much more meaningful. Just a little bit more detail on those points is going to make it interesting, memorable, and it's going to help you kind of give the better impression. On the delivery issues, I don't notice anything that's particularly problematic. Maybe your gestures are a little bit repetitive. You seem to kind of go to the same thing a couple of times. It's this thing with the hands sort of thing that you keep doing, and it's not distracting, but it does seem like it's a little bit of a crutch. I didn't notice anything that was problematic in your posture or any of those sorts of things. I like the conclusion of the speech. Look, you had a clear statement of what your point of view was, a much clearer statement at the end than I think you had at the beginning of the speech, and I think that's a good way to finish. Even if you resolved it differently than you started off with, that's okay. Just you tell people that, having talked about this, this is really how I see this, and I think that you did that. Wow, solid there. All right. And Tony's not even going to wait to be invited. He's just going to help himself. Like most of the guests in my house. That's okay.